It's your girl, Lady Mocha. You know I'm always going to pour you a cup of truth, and I'm always going to break you off a slice of knowledge.
Go see everything.
Hello, good afternoon. It is your girl, your diva in knowledge, Lady Mocha. And I want to thank all of you, my viewers, my subscribers, for stopping by to dine in and rock out with your girl, have some brunch with your diva in knowledge, Lady Mocha, here at Cafe de Paris. You know I'm going to always serve you guys nothing but wisdom and knowledge and truth. Thank all of you for stopping by to hang out with your girl. Anyway, as you can possibly see, the video clip that has just been displayed is a prime example as to why this generation is totally screwed up today. And it has everything to do with grandmothers no longer being grandmothers, okay? Now, keep in mind that I know a lot of us have lost, Big Mama, Nana, Grandma, whatever, name you had for that one woman in your life who was the mother of your mother or the mother of your father, who placed into you a lot of wisdom, a lot of knowledge, a lot of spiritual advice. That's what real grandmothers used to be all about. Real grandmothers used to teach their children morals. They used to teach their grandchildren values. And the reason why this generation is so screwed up today is bad enough that the majority of these women who are mothers, they're not mothers. But the sad part is the majority of them are not mothers because of the women who raised them were not mothers to them. After all, you cannot put something into someone that you don't even have within yourself. And that is the problem with the majority of our black youth today. A lot of them are screwed up because of the women who have given birth to them, and it has everything to do with the woman who has given birth to the mother. Okay, so it's basically what we call a generational curse. Okay, and for a lot of you who are not familiar with what generational curse is, basically generational curse is a toxic demonic spirit that has transcended from one generation to the next, meaning that this has been a spiritual warfare that goes centuries and years back to when our ancestors was picking cotton off the plantation. Okay, this has been a spirit, this has been a cycle that has transcended from generation to generation. And the problem is a lot of us are in denial about the generational curses that are set forth within our family tree. So very rarely do we break the cycle, because for one, in order for you to break the goddamn cycle, you have to admit that this is a generational curse. This is a seed that has been planted into our family tree. So you can't break something if you don't goddamn acknowledge it. And that is the problem with generational curses. We want to keep overlooking it, and the problem is it keeps lurking from generation to generation because no one has dealt with it. Okay, and a lot of it has started from the people who have started the generation of the family tree, which is our great grandmothers, great grandmothers, grandmothers, mothers, and so forth. Okay, and basically, as you can see, this video is a prime example as to why the generation is screwed up. Now, I know good damn well this lady has to be every bit of maybe 70 something years old, okay? And she was basically standing on the top of her head, twerking, okay, acting like a straight retired hyena, a straight antique thought. Okay, she was basically an antique thought. Okay, she was too goddamn old to be carrying on and acting like that in that manner. That was totally uncalled for. Lady, you should be in somebody's church passing the collection plate. She should be on somebody usher board. She should be a hostess in Walmart or greeter in Walmart, greeting all the customers that come in. She should be working at a goddamn flower shop, okay? She should be working for a damn funeral home somewhere, not twerking and standing up on top of her head twerking in somebody's hair shop. And to add insult to injury, you could tell her daughter was cheering her on, because I heard somebody saying, "Go mama, go mama." I mean, this is sad. So if the grandmother already has these characteristics, I can only imagine the mother. And that's not where it's going to end. The mother, if she has any daughters, is going to continue to keep going. When the daughter has children, it's going to continue to keep going. We do not have any more real grandmothers, y'all. All the grandmothers, all the big mamas, all the nanas, they are long gone. These grandmothers today are too busy being thoughts. And the problem with grandmamas today, they can't be real grandmamas because the majority of them, they do not want to accept their age. They don't want to accept the fact you are old now. You are old. Like I said before, that Coca-Cola bottle shape done turned into a keg, okay? You are on double ARP now. You can damn get 15% off on your damn pancakes at IHOP. You will qualify for senior citizen discounts. Once you start qualifying for senior citizen discounts, that means your youth is over. It's done, okay? So I can only imagine if she's acting like this at this age. I can only imagine she was really a hot ass mess back in her younger days, okay? Before she probably used to be a damn brick house, and she went from being a damn brick house to a goddamn outhouse, okay? Just a hot ass mess, all right? But this is a prime example of why the generation is screwed up. Grandmothers back in our time, back in my time, I had a grandmother who taught us how to pray, who taught us how to have respect for ourselves. We wasn't allowed, remember that, y'all? We wasn't allowed to even sit in the same room if adults was having conversation. Remember how that used to be back in the days? When the company came over, guess what? We had to go in our rooms. We couldn't even sit around. When Pastor Billy came in to visit grandma, or First Lady Miss Evelyn, or the neighbor Miss Betty from down the street, we knew automatically that when an adult came in the living room, that meant all children had to go. All right? Well, we already know these children see every goddamn thing and they hear every goddamn thing. And it grieves my spirit. And to this day, I'm still funny about that. I'm not even quite in my 40s yet. God bless me to see it. But to this day, I'm still funny about that. And I know a lot of people, a lot of women within my age range, they will let their children sit right there and be in the company of grown folks. And we wonder why these children are so disrespectful and they're so off the chain, because we do not keep children in a child's place. That is why the majority of us are having so many problems now. These children they have the privilege to be able to sit amongst adults and hear adult conversations. And I'm funny about that. When I'm at somebody's house and I'm trying to talk to them about something personal, or I'm having an adult conversation with them, and the moment I see they're allowing their child to sit there in between us and sit down and sip a can of soda like they up with us, honey, I disengage. I'm like, honey, I'll talk to you later. I'll call you later on. I don't play like that. And even with my daughter, to a certain degree, and she's almost 17, I still don't allow her to sit in the company of me and my girlfriends all the time, especially if we're talking about something very deep and intimate and personal. Certain damn things she just don't need to goddamn know. That's how grandmothers were back in the day. You wasn't allowed to engage in adult conversation or sit around adult company, okay? But you new school moms and you damn retired hyenas that are 65 years old or over, y'all been did away with that. Y'all let these children do whatever the hell they want to do. Not only that, grandmother kept you in church. And I'm going to be honest, this is the number one reason. This really should have been the first thing I should have mentioned. This is the number one reason why these young children are so messed up now. They don't have God in their life. They don't have no type of spirituality, no type of spiritual connection. I try to at least keep my daughter in church, if not at least once a month. We haven't been in a while, but I definitely got to make sure I get back into the groove of that, to be honest. But grandma always kept us in church. Notice whenever you went to grandma's house, every Sunday you had to go to church. It was not an option. There was no, well, I don't want to go, or I don't feel like going. Grandma kept you in church. These grandmothers today, they cannot keep their damn kids in church because they too busy in the goddamn club. They in the club. They still trying to get them a Mr. Freddie, or still trying to get them a Mr. Willie. Grandma's so busy trying to get her a man, she ain't got time to really deal with her grandchildren. She ain't got time to make sure her grandchildren go to church and get to know God. She don't have time for that. And a lot of that too has happened because a lot of these women, a lot of these girls today are having children so young. They're having kids. I mean, grandmothers are becoming grandmothers at the age of 35 years old. Damn, 30, 29 years old. Okay, I mean, that's one of the one of the downfalls, unfortunately, that started it. We started becoming grandmothers so young, and a lot of these grandmothers did not get a chance to really fulfill their lives and do all of what they wanted to do, and all of them are already grandmothers. They don't have time to be bothered with their grandchildren for the simple fact that a lot of them ain't even in their damn 40s, and they're already grandmothers. You know what I mean? They still trying to find themselves. And that is why I said in my last message, if you know you have a child, especially if she's a girl and she's sexually active, you have to put her on something. If you don't want to become a damn grandmother at 34, 35 years old, do not be in denial or act like your child is not out there like that. It's only up to you to take precaution and to prevent that from even happening in the first place. I made sure I'm not even in my 40s yet. I had to get my daughter on some type of birth control because I'm not ready for that type of responsibility. Okay, it's still hard work just still dealing with her. You know what I mean? Let alone trying to help her take care of a child. I'm not even about to put myself in that type of situation if I can help it. But that has become another problem. These girls now are having children younger and younger, so that's also been a big disadvantage as to why we don't have any real grandmothers, and again, this has become a generational curse. If you really look back into your family tree and you do your history, you look at why your mom is probably a thought. Look at was your grandmother thought. Okay, do you have aunts or uncles from all type of different men and different relationships? It all had to start from somewhere. It didn't just start from the mother. It started from the woman who raised your mother. Furthermore, grandma didn't have all kind of men in and out her house. You grandmothers today, it's bad enough your children, your daughters, your sons already had to, be exposed to all the different relationships, the different men you have moving in and out of your home. Now you letting your grandchildren be exposed to it. Every new guy you meet is their goddamn granddaddy. You know what I'm saying? Bad enough when you was raising your children, every guy you was meeting was their daddy. Now you taking your grandchildren through the same thing. And it's sad because some of these women would never grow the hell up. It don't matter. You would think once you start having grandchildren that it will register. Okay, now I'm going to have to change the way I do things in life. I'm a grandmother now. A lot of them, it does not register. They still do the same goddamn thing they was doing with their children. And what it does, it creates another generational curse. Because now you have a whole nother generation that is still being exposed to the same amount of triflingness that the other generations prior had to be exposed to. So it just continues to keep going. But we don't have any real grandmothers. You see these grandmothers now. You look on YouTube. You look on Facebook. All of these videos going viral of these grandmothers twerking. Dancing like retired strippers. You know, a lot of them cussing, using all kind of profanity. These grandmothers today, the majority of them have no class. The majority of them are very gut bucket. They just got this straight thought syndrome, and this thought disease that a lot of them that has just unfortunately has become contagious among the black women within our community. And like, as you see in this video, it was bad enough this full grown grandmother who should be on somebody's usher board, okay, her daughter was cheering her on. So we have two generations of women within this family, within this particular family, who has already condoned this type of behavior. So you can only imagine what's going to happen if that daughter has children. It's going to just continue to get worse. And you wonder why now, you know, you see these 3-year-olds, the 4-year-olds, they twerking and acting all womanly. It's because the two women in their lives that's supposed to be teaching them morals and teaching them how to carry themselves, like young ladies, even once they become transition into teenagers. Look at the type of examples they got. This is why. Another point in case too is a lot of you men end up getting caught up in the matrix of the vagina, which means that you end up having children, conceiving children from these type of females, and you wonder why you catching so much hell bad enough off the baby mama. You also got to catch it off the baby mama, because she's just as trifling as the grandmother of your children is just as trifling and ignorant as the mother of your children. And I know it's a lot of you men out there who are battling not only with the baby mama, but with your baby mama. You got to argue and go up against both of these hags, because both of them are straight thoughts and there's no reasoning. And nothing worse than dealing with a young ignorant broad is dealing with an old ignorant broad. They are the worst because they are already set in their ways. Their ways and their standards and their principles are molded, okay, are set in stone. There's no changing. 9 times out of 10, once somebody is over the age of 45 and up, I don't feel like they can really change. That's just my personal opinion. I could be wrong, but I feel like most of the time when somebody is 45 and up, you cannot do nothing. You can't really do too much with their trifling ways. I mean, it's just set in stone. But this is an example, okay? And it's not, and it's millions, it's thousands of old, black, white, Puerto Rican, Asian hyenas that are up in their age and they don't want to accept the fact that they are grandmothers. You can't be around here wearing all kind of goddamn crazy ass colors in your hair, wearing all type of tight ass clothes, you know what I mean, shirts on your stomach so tight, and you know you got more rolls than a goddamn bakery. Look like your shirt looks like, you know, it's a can of biscuits, like it's just about to burst, you know, and you wearing all these tight ass clothes, not understanding that you are older now. You cannot dress back in the 1970s. You don't have that 1970 body anymore, you know. And even if you do, even if you look good for your age, you are a grandmother. It is unfortunate, guys and ladies, we don't have real grandmothers anymore that keep their grandchildren in church, that teach their grandchildren how to pray. You know, some of these kids, they don't even know how to say their grace when they sit to the dinner table. That's just how much of the spiritual foundation that our ancestors and great grandparents have instilled in us, you know, centuries ago. We don't have that anymore because the new generation has strayed away from that. But this is the reason why this generation is screwed up. It's these old ass hyenas who have not taught their daughters how to be mothers, because they're not even they haven't even grown up. They still don't want to accept the fact you are up in your age. Your time has expired. You are old now. You too damn old to be twerking, too old to still be going to the clubs, sipping on Hennessy when you got grandchildren. And in some cases, some of them got great grandchildren. And it's still the same tired ass mess that it's been for years. And it's not going to change anytime soon. But I hope and pray for all of you out there who are grandmothers and some of you grandfathers as well, because some of you goddamn granddaddies, y'all still be in the club with them throwback jerseys, still trying to be a sugar daddy, knowing you ain't got no goddamn sugar. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all don't have that real sugar. Y'all got that damn Splendor, that artificial sweetener. I'm serious. People do not want to let go when they get old. Learn to embrace your oldness. Learn to embrace your experience, your wisdom. You done had your time to wild out, to be wild. It's time to grow the hell up. When you start having grandchildren, you have to start looking at life from a totally different perspective from this point on out. Somebody has to break that generational curse. You don't want to be dead and gone and you leaving all this mess behind. If you are a grandmother, if you are a grandfather, and you see that your daughter, your son has produced children who are being raised in chaotic and unhealthy conditions, it is up to you as the elder, as the leader of the family, to intervene and break that generational curse. You need to sit down and talk with your daughters, talk with your sons. Look, son, look, daughter, you need to raise your children better than I raised you. Okay? I don't want my grandchildren having to repeat my struggle, having to repeat your struggle. It's gonna come a day I'm gonna be dead and gone. So I want to make sure that when it's my time, that my family is going to be left here with all the morals, with all the values, and all the wisdom that I have put into them. This is what you need to be speaking and seeking to your daughters and your sons if they have children, which are your grandchildren. For those of you who do not take heed, you're going to look back, and if God bless you to live through it and you live to see your great grand and your grand, if God blesses you that to witness the next generation, your great grand and your grandchildren, and to see them suffer and struggle the same way you have suffered, the same way you have struggled, that's going to be very disheartening to your spirit, because you're going to look back and wish that you put so much more into them than what you did. So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, what do y'all think about these grandmothers, these grandfathers today? It's not a lot of men who are carrying on like this. I don't see too many grandfathers that are twerking up in the club or whatever. But what do y'all think? Do y'all think that this generation has totally lost all of the wisdom and the knowledge that the elderly was supposed to leave behind? Or do you think that unfortunately the reason why this generation is so screwed up is because the elderly, big mama, banana, grandmama, did not leave anything into these children for them to be real productive citizens of this country? What is your intake on this? So I would definitely love to get your feedback. I would like to hear you ladies and you gentlemen on what you think about this. I really miss having a real grandmother. I thank God that my daughter has a real grandmother. My mom talks to my daughter at least 2-3 times a month. She'll call on her cell phone, talk to her, check on her. Things Rissa goes through. She calls my mom. She calls my mom more than she calls me sometimes. And I'm grateful, because some of these children, they are so grown and so disrespectful. They won't even reach out to their grandmothers. They don't even go and check on them. My daughter, she still checks on my on my mom. She'll call and talk to her. The older she gets, she doesn't do it as often, but she still has some type of relationship and connection with her. And I notice a lot of this generation, a lot of them don't even reach out to their grandparents. They don't even want that wisdom. They don't even want that type of knowledge. They don't want that old school knowledge. The old school knowledge is the best medicine. And my daughter, she calls my mom all the time. She yearns for that old school knowledge. She seeks it, So I'm glad that I'm able to feed her the new school, and she still confides in my mom to receive that old school wisdom, so I think it's a benefit to these children if the grandmother and the mothers are both giving these children wisdom and knowledge and morals and values. Okay, so on that note, I thank all of you for tuning in and rocking out with me, your girl, Lady Mocha, here at Cafe de Paris. Also, I am going to be working on doing a live Google Hangout soon. I'm definitely planning on doing that. I got to get with the guys, LAR Movement, Wake the Hell Up, Junk Pile, Reg the guy, I think his name is Reg the guy to Reg, I can't remember or whatever, but it's a few of them that I really definitely want to collaborate with, because we have collaborated before and I really vibed intellectually very well with all of these guys. A lot of guys I would never do live with, but just to name a few, those are guys I would definitely like to rock out with or whatever. So I'm also working on that, and then I'm still in the middle of completing my book, DNA, Dick, and Attention, the black woman's or the broken woman's disease. Okay, I'm still working on that project, so I got a couple of projects coming up, so just be on the lookout. It is your girl, Lady Mocha, and remember, I'm gonna always serve you a cup of truth, and I'm gonna always break you off a slice of knowledge. Y'all have a wonderful day, and I will see y'all soon. Bye.
Curiosity leads to large crowds in Mobile's Crichton community, many of you bringing binoculars, camcorders, even camera phones to take pictures.
To me, it look like a leprechaun to me. All I gotta do is look up in the tree. Who else in the leprechaun say yeah? Yeah!
Eyewitnesses say the leprechaun only comes out at night. If you shine a light in its direction, it suddenly disappears. This amateur sketch resembles what many of you say the leprechaun looks like. Others find it hard to believe and have come up with their own theories and explanations for the image.
My theory is it's casting a shadow from the other limb.
Could be a crackhead that got hold to the wrong stuff, and it told him to get up in a tree and play a leprechaun.